What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with the Golden Gauntlet World Championship Qualifier number 4. This time we are rocking RSM. My list will be on the screen in just a moment, but this is the list that I'm playing against from Sanatora, who is a pretty well-respected Marvel snapper. We've featured him several times on the channel in the past, and they're playing Phoenix Force with Living Tribunal. Shuri's Lab seems like a good location for them, but we are going to be able to Reality Stone that location. Sorry, just getting a new deck image sort of set up here. It's a little laggy, but we are going to start with this Reality Stone into Shuri's Lab, so that way they can't get any value out of that. And I have not played up against a Phoenix Force in a little bit. They're just going for Multiple Man and Human Torch. The deck is certainly worse with Human Torch being a 3-cost card, but you can still go Kid Omega into Human Torch and feel fairly fine about that. So they could still put up some nice points, I'm sure, but they are going to go for a Multiple Man off this one. All right. Repeat your on-reveal abilities of your cards. They're also snapping, so they're looking to that probably means that they just have it, right? And I don't really see anything that speaks to me about this hand in particular. We've got a Legion, but I think we can probably do better. So we're going to start off with a retreat. I don't know if I said this, but apologies that my hair is looking crazy. I didn't really feel like doing it. And yeah, so this is what you get. Let's see if we can get anything better in this game. Stardust, I think, interacts with Phoenix Force, but I'm not sure. Cosmic Ghost Rider, I don't think does. And then we have Reality Stone once more. I probably want to up the variance here with a Reality Stone, so we're going to throw it on the known location. That is going to give us a Scar Grand Prix. Titan's interesting. Viv Vision, probably not super useful. But I'll probably run out the Viv Vision next turn into Reality Stone, especially considering they are likely to keep on playing into Titan here. Ooh. Oh, this is bolts, not wins. I thought this was wins. Wins could have been really interesting. Bolts is still fine. But I think this hand is just like super lackluster again. So we're going to retreat once more. Arshem and Hela, like, these just aren't powerful cards. So we'll keep looking. My opponent, Multiple Man, snap multiple times now. But yeah, we just have it. I mean, both games have gone exactly the same so far. All right, this one looks like a hand. The Sandbar is going to bring an immediate snap out for them, though. But we have Valentina into Galacta into the Valentina card. I think I'll retreat again. Yeah, I think we'll keep giving Sanatora these 1 cubes. Eventually, we will be forced to play. But maybe Sanatora will be forced to play in a high-stakes mode game. Great snaps by him so far, for sure. Potentially could have turn 1 snapped in the first game. Phoenix Force is funny. Magneto pulls the Multiple Man, which is interesting. Astral Projection can pull any of these cards. And Shang-Chi to deal with a Human Torch. I think we might be snapping on this one. Let's see what happens. Lake Hellas, good for them, but good for Mind Stone as well. It's going to fill our hand, but give us a play for next turn. I might just be dropping Phoenix Force next turn. I mean, they don't have any ways to kill my cards. Unless we see a location that specifically destroys cards, I think we might just run out the Phoenix Force next turn, though we could just play a pair of stones and a 2-cost card off the top. Ooh, Muir Island. Kind of makes it tempting to play over here, I think. Next turn, are we just playing Agamotto? Potentially. Then we have Astral Projection followed by Shang-Chi Astral Projection. That could all be a lot of fun. They don't have the Multiple Man. nor do they have the Kid Omega. I think we actually snap back here. I think we found our moment. We've got a good set of cards. They don't have... So if they don't have the Kid Omega, they can't play turn 3 Human Torch into turn 4 Phoenix Force. They do have the turn 3 multiple man into Muir Island, but let's see what X-Mansion delivers. Surtur for them, and Dr. Octopus, that could be a Ghost Spider? That is a Venom on the Surtur. That is going to make them lose their Venom, crowd their Phoenix Force, and yeah, I guess Nimrod is the other option that their deck winds up going for sometimes. So they don't really have access to that. If we Misery... we can not make that work. Yeah, it just doesn't work, the ordering wise, unless we Astral Projection and then we Misery the Phoenix Force. But it just won't work because we'll wind up destroying the Phoenix Force regardless. So we're over that. Let's go Agamotto into Muir Island, I believe. Sure. Yeah, this looks good enough. They are not going to be able to play... Okay. So they have a 50-50 to Phoenix Force multiple man, which I think is something that I'm definitely willing to take, and then I can Shang-Chi some multiple men on the final turn as well. So I like that. Scorpion's good against that. I could just Misery the Mind Stone. That fills my hand. But we have to think of exactly what I'm doing next turn. I could Magneto, but I think they're likely to play Phoenix Force here. I could still Magneto center to just kind of clog them up a little bit. Doesn't seem super useful. But I think it's better than Scorpioning him. So let's go for this. It puts... Ooh, okay. It clogs them out of Lake Hellas. That could be interesting. And it puts me in the lead on X-Mansion. Oh, it doesn't actually clog them out here. But what do they get? That's the big question. They get Surtur. It's just not going to be good enough. They needed to get back the multiple man. So Doc Ock off X-Mansion wound up just being able to do it here. Ghost Spider is going to pull that back. If it was a multiple man, would have obviously been a pretty good play, but it's not. So it's not, and that is that. We could throw another one here. We really just don't need to. Yeah, I mean, I guess this was a Phoenix Force, so it was movable. I probably should have Shang-Chi'd elsewhere, actually, but yeah, they have to retreat off that one. And just like that, we are not that far behind on cubes. So that's good.
The universe shall be set right.
Again, we have Reality Stone turn 1. We also have Nimrod. We seem to be doing all right at getting cards that their deck is playing. Let's go for... Actually, I don't know if we need to increase variance this game. So if you haven't heard me talk about this concept before, when you play Reality Stone, you can increase variance by playing a Reality Stone early on a location that hasn't been revealed yet. Or on a location that has already been revealed, sorry. Misspoke. The idea behind that is that's going to just create more locations in the game, thus more randomness. And here we see 2 locations that would make it tough for them to destroy a multiple man, which is good, because then we could clog up their Phoenix Force. We're not quite able to snap here just yet, unfortunately, but next turn we will get to drop a Mockingbird and a Scarlet Spider, which seems good. But if they do have the turn for Phoenix Force, they're looking all right now. We cannot quite fill the raft here, unfortunately. Potentially able to fill it next turn, though. Ultron? Probably not with Ultron. Probably with Nimrod. We could just play Scarlet Spider or just play Nimrod. I guess we just play Scarlet Spider. This is fine. This will give me a free Mockingbird on a future turn, and I could potentially still fill the raft if a Doombot lands here. Or I could just play 2 cards to this location next turn. They are going for a Shuri. So they don't quite have the insane curve out. Kind of feeling this, and then on the final turn, I get to play Thanos plus my free 6-cost card, but is that good enough? Would I rather... So basically, by playing the Space Stone, I can't activate the Scarlet Spider, but the Space Stone drawing Thanos is probably better than hitting Ultron. I do believe I want to fill the raft here. Yeah, let's do this. This gives me the option of only playing one card next turn if I decide that that's better. Because I don't like this Khonshu, for instance. Now I can just play Thanos and then grab a Doom bot that grows Doom 2099. That could prove better. They've got Human Torch plus Kid Omega, and then they've got the Raft. I feel like we came out on top on this one. We did not snap, but, I mean, what could they possibly have? They've got their free Raft card, but so it seems do we. And because I don't need a Doombot, I can just activate Scarlet Spider to get 5 power here rather than a 3-power Doombot over here. I'm up by 3, I'm up by 4, I'll be up by 9. Yeah, I mean, all of this seems good. What am I missing? I'm just missing what their 6-cost card is. I don't know, this seems good to me. Okay, Venom and then a free Null? Oh, they're eating up that power with Kid Omega. Oh, I missed that I lost this location. Do I lose to a Null? I don't. I tie in Eliath and win the game on differential. Okay, I was missing that they could add more power here with Kid Omega, but that was still a fairly significant investment for them. And they actually played it so that they beat the Doombot as well. So really good math by Sanatora there, but unfortunately for them, math looks like 7 bigger than 4, and we are winning this as we move into high stakes round 6. Bar Sinister. Kind of crazy. They've got the Aranya, so we're going to Iron Patriot against the Aranya, I believe. Ooh, Bar Sinister could look to lock them out of the game as well. So I kind of want my cards to die in Danger Room, to be totally honest. I think we could look to snap here. Oh, you use the Aranya on the Phoenix Force. Not on anything else. That makes sense. Not on the multiple man. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We could play the Khazar. I think I'll just play a Valentina, hope it dies in Danger Room. But I think we are going to stay in this one and stay battling. They might be able to make a bunch of multiple men, but I might just be able to make a bunch more cards out of Bar Sinister and beat them that way. The only card that they have that's bigger than Legion is Living Tribunal, but if they play that here, that's going to make some other funky stuff happen for them this game. So let's just play Valentina and stick in it for potentially Sanatora's final 4 cubes. That is fine. That is actually fine. Agatha's just going to play herself. Oh, right now. It's turn 4 right now. Okay. Not what I was expecting, but we'll deal with it. And they are making Phoenix Forces into Bar Sinister? Wow. Okay. So they're going to fill the whole board with multiple men, but I might be able to fill the board bigger. That's the game plan here. They're going to have a bunch of 8-power things. My Legion is losing Bar Sinister at that point. But maybe I can go Thanos and then battle for Yggdrasil? Maybe that's the game plan at that point, actually. I don't think it makes sense to play Legion at this point. I think it does make sense to play... Oh, they could have... Oh, shoot. They could have Venom into Bar Sinister. If they have Venom into Living Tribunal, we are toasted. That's a really good play from them here. We have to do this. Yeah. We need Danger Room to destroy this Living Tribunal or destroy this Venom. That is not what they go for. Dang. Now I might have priced myself out of Bar Sinister. Alright, I tried to play around one thing. They have something totally different. What's that going to be? Just a Nimrod here? A Nimrod and I made everything into Danger Room? This one didn't work out. Kid Omega. Sure, it's gone. Magic no longer works. Thanos, not going to work. They're just going to move in a multiple man and they beat me here. They literally just get to move around all the multiple men and I lose. Sure, we can make them do it, but we've lost this one. Yeah, I didn't think about this just making me lose to literally everything else. I thought it was an interesting play. But that's all she wrote. Oh, and they actually do play to Danger Room then. I don't know if that could be a Living Tribunal. I don't think it makes sense to play anything else because you deny yourself a multiple man. So I think they potentially get less power out of this exchange, but doesn't matter. We lose to anything. Yeah, Living Tribunal. And like I'm saying, if Danger Room destroys this here, then they have less power than they would have otherwise. But Danger Room does not like me. I'm not going to mess with Danger Room. Lesson learned, I suppose. Yeah, I was worried about like losing to this sequence otherwise, but if I had just played Thanos here and then I played Jane here, then we're actually just beating these numbers. I play Jane and then I play Legion over in this location after playing a Thanos here, or like Jane plus something else. I think I would have had enough there. Yeah, if I played Jane plus Soulstone here, that would have been 29. That might have been what number they had as well, though. Okay, Galactus without a Great Herald. Doesn't seem amazing. But we're going to stay in it here for 3 cubes with our Mockingbird. That seems fine. Bucky Barnes. Oh, Kunlun is terrible. I might want to play Hulkbuster just because it's a better Herald, and this will actually pump up my Mockingbird or discount my Mockingbird to just run out a raw Hulkbuster. They're going to Kid Omega over there. I need Galactus really, really to carry me here. We'll see how he does. Can I find a 4? That's the question. Galacta. Cosmic Ghost Rider does something. The awkward thing is Bucky Barnes really does not. Bucky Barnes, not a super impressive play, but now I have Cosmic Ghost Rider with Prio. And I can turn off either Aranya or Kid Omega. I think I have to hit the Kid Omega here, with the idea being they might be attempting to use Kid Omega with Nimrod to beat me this game. They might still just beat me with Nimrod regardless. But I'm expecting this could be a Shuri into really any location here. Shuri into Xandar, followed by Kid Omega, Nimrod. Let's see if it looks like we might have stopped their Kid Omega from activating here. Is this a Ghost Rider? A Ghost Spider? Okay, so we didn't do anything to their Kid Omega then. They are just Human Torching it. And they've got a large Human Torch that's potentially trying to go off with a Living Tribunal here. This is really all I can do, and then hope to draw a tech card or the points to battle for Kunlun. I think we're doing fine, though, for right now. This will cost 3, this will cost 3, this will cost 1, so we can put up 15 points in Kunlun, and I think we should have an insurmountable amount of points in Pet Mansion right now. I imagine this is a Nimrod that they're planning on destroying a few times here. Yeah. But I don't think we're actually hurting. With 15 more points, that is a 21-point lead. I think this is all right. Unfortunately, because Sanatora has that one Bonus cube. This will not take them out. Could take me out, though. So, yeah, just a free snap, really, from Sanatora that I had to respect. And, yeah, we'll have to win the next game as well. But I do think we've got this one. I could also see putting, like, a little bit of point, but I just don't see how they get more points into Pet Mansion. Oh. This is just a living tribunal. Surely, right? I have no clue what else this could be. Yeah, has to just be. Not going to be enough. All right, cool. All right. I know how to play against Living Tribunal. You just put all of your power to 2 locations. So, at the very least, a face-up Living Tribunal going into the match. That part's straightforward. Galactus also kind of helped in that regard because he really wants you to full commit to 1 location. So, yeah, that worked out reasonably for us. And the Kid Omega, I don't believe did anything. The Cosmic Ghost Rider, rather. Isle of Silence, that's 1 location that they can't play to for a Living Tribunal. That could be useful. The question is just, do we want to amp up the variance or not? With a mediocre hand, I think I will amp up the variance. Just because this is, like, I'd rather find more locations, like, that are just going to mess with them in other weird ways. No, this actually seems like a good location for them. They can play turn 2 Human Torch now. But Shadowland, that's the exact one that I was thinking of. We saw it earlier. Seems good. If I can Legion into Shadowland, then we can turn them off of creating or being able to guarantee that they're destroying the ideal card for themselves. I think I'll play Hand into the Unknown for now. Though we could Hand here just so that way we have a play to make next turn with Images into Victoria. It's not a great play next turn, but I'll go for it. For lack of potentially having a better play. Is this a Carnage? Okay, it's a Kid Omega. I was like, no way you Carnage your Ninja. This is not that type of deck. Okay, could have been nice to get into Vibranium Mines. This is plus 5 points. It's just a 4/5. It's really not super impressive. But I think we still just use my energy efficiently here by playing Vicky. They have Kid Omega, so Shadowland doesn't actually stop them. That's an interesting thing. I guess maybe I'll just Groot them then. Sure, I'll Groot them, keep Prio, and if they don't use Kid Omega here, then I'm Cosmic Ghost Ridering the Kid Omega right now. Yeah, I think so. That looks good. So now they can't use it for a Nimrod or to destroy a Human Torch right now. Cosmic Ghost Rider, actually one of the most played cards in this tournament. It's like in the top 10 or top 15 by some numbers that I looked at. So definitely, I think, correct in identifying that as a strong card. That was my top pick from last season. And yeah, I just put out a YouTube short. I opened up snap packs for Cosmic Ghost Rider for this event specifically. All right, I am now reconnected to the game on my phone. And they did play a Shuri. I am going to just play a Legion into Vibranium Mine for points, but I drew an arrow. So I think this might be all right because I can arrow their Shuried card around. Actually, they're Ghost Spidering it. Turning off my green screen here so I can edit this. All right. And they are Carnaging. So they actually took priority here going into the final turn. Doesn't look like they've put up any fantastic numbers. But nor have I. What could they possibly even be going for here? I need to switch to this so I can see their deck list. Just maybe like a Phoenix Force. And I think I should just battle for as many locations as I can here. 1, 6, 4. That doesn't really battle there. This is not particularly impressive, but this is what I'm going to go for. And that's a Living Tribunal. I think I spread my points too thin here then. 6/6. Yeah, I never win this. Oh, wait! But I Cosmic Ghost Rider the Living Tribunal again and actually do take it. That is crazy. That is a crazy way to win. Hopefully, I've edited all of this together in a way that makes sense. Was a little stressed there at the very end, but was able to get it done with Cosmic Ghost Rider. I'm doing a giveaway for PAX bundles. Stick around till the end of the video to find out how you can win. This round, we're up against another familiar face, Husky Puppies, and a slightly familiar deck, Move Bounce, though I thought Move Bounce was not something people are playing anymore. Turns out the rumors of its death were greatly exaggerated, and Sparky is here to breathe some fresh life into this fan favorite archetype. Otherwise, we're fairly familiar with what's going on here. Dagger, Vulture, Human Torch, Frigga to copy those cards, Sage as a potential different angle of attack, and then we have Toxin, Beast to get more value out of these on reveal effects and potentially play around some potential tech cards. Sparky is not going to work as well with the bounce element of the deck, but could potentially lead to some large numbers. And I think that if this deck is good, this will be the deck list that people are playing with now. So let's see how it goes up against Husky Puppies here. Hit them with a fist bump back. I don't know what graphic just loaded up here. Oh, it shows me all of my created cards added to the deck. Oh, that's interesting. Winds of Watum, probably still reasonable against my opponent. Toxie, we don't really want that to pump up the thing. Well, now it won't be doing that, as they lose their Sage. Well, because I'm not going to play any of these cards next turn, I suppose we're Toxie-Doxying, and then we are going to Bolts and Cosmic Ghost Rider is the idea on the following turn. Toxie-Doxy actually not doing a bad job here. Camelot's a little bit interesting. I feel like I'm still going to stay in it here. Next turn, I've got the Cosmic Ghost Rider for the Sparky, but I don't love that into Camelot. Maybe we do retreat? The Cosmic Ghost Rider is one of my better cards. Next turn, I'll have 9 energy, but nothing to play. So I'm going to retreat. We started off the last round with a bunch of retreats, and we were able to come back and win it. The problem is I just don't have a great play next turn, I feel like. The wins, I don't know. It could help me get a win, but could also just do a whole bunch of nothing. I'm a little bit worried for my computer with the crash last round and some of this acting a little bit slow right now, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to lead with a Soul Stone. Yeah, if Kid Omega doesn't destroy the card, then you won't get its power. I wasn't sure if that would have an interesting interaction with Soul Stone and Thanos, but happy to draw a bird here. My opponent will be able to easily fill White Hot Room and still get out of dodge, but so can we with Kid Omega. So that's an interesting angle to consider. Next turn, I just Kid Omega my Valentina. I like that. Let's snap. I'm going to be able to fill White Hot Room next turn. It seems unlikely that they would be able to do so and still take great advantage of all of their cards, whereas I feel like we would get to do that. So I'm happy for this angle. We Kid Omega the Valentina, not the Space Stone, for an additional Mockingbird discount, or you just snap and you get a cube. That's the other scenario that plays out into. So tied up 9 apiece into round 3. Even then, I feel like I'm seeing like a weird like gray borders. I'd have to go back and look at it in editing. Kingpin seems like a good one. And with only 2 locations to play cards to, I think we could Kingpin snap. The only question is, do we want to sit on Kingpin? But honestly, I think we just Kingpin snap. Kingpin, my buddy that loves move bounce, coming out in spirit to help me against move bounce, but Kingpin just seems like such a solid card against anything they're trying to do here. If this is an Aranya, they can't use it, or they're going to lose 4 power on... Oh, it's only 2 power now with Kingpin. Okay, my bad. It's not as big of a deal. I think we keep the Kingpin here still, though. I could move it with Ghost Spider to get a little bit tricky on them, but I think I will just dump cards into the kiln. Next turn, Bolts. Following turn, Cosmic Ghost Rider. If they haven't used Aranya by that point. Bolts only for 2, so I could also play it alongside something else. Could have also thrown Ghost Spider into Dark Dimension. That could have been really tricksy, but I want to fill up the kiln here before it's too late. And I find a Sparky. And I had the Ghost Spider. Interesting sequence of cards. We're just going to run them out, though. Even though they might not be that impressive here. And if I knew I was drawing Sparky, I certainly would have kept the Ghost Spider. But they have their own Sparky here now, and it looks like they pre-activated Aranya. Wow, that is a crazy heads-up play then. They wanted to play around the Cosmic Ghost Rider, and they did. We are going to take out the Sparky, though, here. And then the only thing that we can do on top of that is Enchantress, and we're just Enchantressing for points. They're going to move themselves out of the kiln. I'm taking out my Quinjet, but I think that this is a fine scenario. We take down their Sparky, and they're going to be stranded with, like, maybe a dagger in Wakanda is the idea here, but we win the kiln. Okay, it is a Human Torch. They were planning on moving that and then moving that back, but we are going to shrink it so it only grows up to 4 and then stays put because Sparky has lost his bark. We can make everything Wakanda. I think I'll just throw 7 points over into Dark Dimension, considering I feel like I could lose this location, but I find it unlikely that I lose both of these side locations, and then I'm just playing off the top for the final turn, but I think that that's ultimately fine. Yeah, I imagine Sage plus Toxin was their best play that they could come up with here. That certainly makes sense. This is not a strong final play for myself. For sure, for sure. Oof. I much rather would have just had the Legion and slam 17 over here. They could go Human Torch and pull it into Dark Dimension, and then I lose. I think I actually have to retreat. I think I drew so terribly. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Enchantress and just realized I was going to beat Human Torch in the center. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, I should have just recognized that I was beating the Human Torch play. Oh, well. Oh, they also retreated. Dang it. That was another angle that I could have taken, is just tried to out-bravado them because we've hit them with so much other stuff. I just didn't have anything. I would have lost to anything that they played there, but I maybe could have just brute forced it and bullied them off the game. Unfortunate to not grab the 2 cubes, but I guess fortunate to not lose the 2 cubes either. Professor plus Mini Lab means we can really lock it down, but we're going to need some points as well. We're going to need some stones, or a Valentina would be the best draw right here. Image is way too big. Does not count. Now Vibranium Mine's going to gunk them up a wee bit, but I still need something. I need something big right here. Okay, this actually is something big. Wow. We could completely lock them out of the 5th turn of the game. Is that interesting? Yeah, maybe. Double Mini Lab plus a Professor X. Let's see where this one goes. Iron Fist into Vulture. Means I'm not incredibly keen, but yeah, I mean, this could be like Ghost Spider plus Toxin in Vibranium Mines. And then I'm not in love with my potential sequences. One thing I could see doing here is Shang-Chi Professor X. Is that absolutely wild? It feels absolutely wild. But it also feels like that beats a lot of things. It doesn't beat Ghost Spider Toxin, though. Toxin would have 6 power. I can't really do much else, and then I'm just finishing off with Orca on the final turn. Let's go for it, it's funny. If this is specifically Ghost Spider, no, it's Frigga, but we still beat them in Vibranium Mines. We beat exactly a Frigga. So now we're just going to draw some Vibranium. Yep. Interestingly, I can Images here to unlock this location, but I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to play Vibranium into Minilab and Orca into Minilab number 2. We know that they have a Vulture to slam down for 1 energy. So I'm still not super keen on this position. Let's see what we draw here. This is pretty funny. Okay, Baron Zemo could find us more points into this location. I think that this is likely to lose as well, is the problem. It's 16 points. If they just play the Vulture, but if they have the Ghost Spider, then I would lose. Or if they have Vulture plus Sage or something. So Vulture plus Ghost Spider, I lose too. Vulture plus Sage, I beat. Alright, let's go for Vulture plus Sage. They did put some points over here. Maybe that can help me. This is going to be a Beast for 3 points. I think we just beat them in the mini lab. Yep, 14. Dagger for 13. Orca over the top, 2 points. I had to think about what they would be likely to do, and they're kind of pressured into putting reasonable points at both locations, which means they can't full send, but they also just didn't have the Ghost Spider. They had Beast, which means we were able to grab them for 2 cubes. We took the 2 cubes this time. That was another scenario where, like, I could have seen retreating there. Very, very weird game to just say nobody gets to play on turn 5. But weird games is where Arishem does get to come out on top. Asteroid M, goodbye. Goodbye, Asteroid M. Next turn we get Joaquin Torres, and then we get to start drawing some cards off the Soul Stone. But yeah, I want nothing to do with that one. Can I find a Kamartaj? I find a Space Throne. So we either Joaquin into the unknown, or we Joaquin where it's safe. And then next turn we're playing Galacta. Space Throne, not a great location for them. They can't bounce there. They can't dagger there. I'm going to snap. I like my cards. And they're going to retreat. All right. That was round 1 of high stakes mode. We are up 9-5. Working for us, for sure. Yeah, what are those gray bars that appear like just for a split second there? I've got the Human Torch. Look at me. All right. No turn 1 play, no Wiccan curve out. We've got the Reality Stone, which I like. We've got the Bolts, which seems pretty good. Crown City's a reasonable location for their deck. Do I want more variants? I think I'm willing to stay in it for 4. This could allow them to tie it up. My hand is not fantastic, but I think it's fine. And I think we're just going to draw some cards here and then change the location. See what that turns into. They avoid Crown City. Next turn, we're going Bolts plus Time Stone into Arasham. We get Wakandan Embassy. All right, that's good for my Human Torch. I wish that was a different game, right, where I kept this location around. Iron Fist, going to move the Vulture over. Do we find a way to move Human Torch? That would be hilarious. The next card you play here switches sides, so this is free. And then we Bolts. We could also Bolts plus Time Stone. That might be better. And I think we're taking Prio here. Next turn with 8 energy, I can play Arasham plus Temporal. Oh, I'll have 9 energy, but this is fine. We draw a card off Time Stone here. Ooh, good beast for them. Good beast. Or Toxin. Yeah, Toxin. It's only turn 3. My computer definitely feels like it's running a little bit slow. Oh, Castle Zemo, Legion. This is just fantastic. We have Prio. We might just avoid this location. And then Temporal Manipulation to open up another location. So yeah, let's just do this, and we'll just battle for these two. Maybe let them keep the Collapsed Mine. Sure. They could almost clog me in the Embassy. But I think they're going to have a tough time playing out their cards here. And we might even still be able to get into the Collapsed Mine. We've got the cheap Thanos. Not that that's necessarily the play for next turn. We'll probably just play Agamotto. They're giving us a card in Castle Zemo. That's probably Ghost Spider. And they're also giving us potentially their Vulture here. Okay, yeah, they're giving us their Iron Fist, and then they're going to give us their Ghost Spider, is ultimately what it's going to be. Yeah, but that's good. That's good points. And it's all of their points at one location, which I also kind of love. Now, what's weird is if they play a card here, they will clog us out of Castle Zemo. So that much I don't love. But what could I do? I could Valentina and then nothing? I think I just have to let them clog me. And if they don't, then I've got a bunch of points here. If they do, then yes, Sage could make things a little bit awkward. But I'm going to make them do it. Okay, they didn't do it, so I think we're good. Aranya, Vulture, and I'm just going to drop Thanos into this location here next turn. They're set up nicely, but not nice enough for all of these points. We're also currently winning this location, which is crazy. This is a real Aranya. Is this actually something that I have to worry about them? Beating me in Castle Zemo? No way. No way. Let's just play this. This could also really surprise them. If they give me... I think they're giving me Castle Zemo, and I can maybe cheese this location. I think that's the best play now. Yeah, Valentina as a 2-drop was a pretty good draw. Also, with Prio, if they've potentially filled this location, then I can't even give them Valentina. So it could just be way over the top, but I don't think they're going to be able to battle in this location without playing a single card here. And I could actually put myself at a disadvantage by playing to the location, because then same thing, they could play a card and not have to worry about me getting it if they had like Sage plus Vulture or something. But I think they're going to have trouble battling for multiple locations here, and we're going to make them battle for all 3 at this point. That's the plan. My opponent's deck list showing Kid Omega, but yeah, that's just not true. That's just a bug with Untapped. Untapped being a little bit funky right now. I get their Frigga. That will allow them to play a Dagger over into Castle Zemo. That'll take that over, but I don't think that they will have enough points for the other Castle Zemo. Oh, wait, they do. Oh, Toxin bouncing the Valentina, and then Vulture over the top. That wins it. Wow. Wow. Okay, I should have gone with my other play then. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, that puts me down to 4 cubes. Good find there by Husky Puppies. I could have just played the Thanos over onto the right. I think that was probably safer.
Destiny will arrive.
Yeah, I wasn't like fully paying attention to everything that they had access to, and that's tough sometimes with bounce, which is awkward because your opponent like doesn't keep their points on the table, so you have to be paying attention, and I was just a little too distracted, I think. We get the Makari, we get the Raft. I also have, oh, Blink Wasp seems fantastic for the Raft. I can fill the Raft with the Wasp next turn, and then the following turn blink it for even more points, plus have a free 6-cost card. Odin for another Valentina card also seems swell. So yeah, we are filling the Raft this turn. And then we're going to blink this Wasp next turn. This is a beautiful, beautiful curve. Free Eliath, Hot Dog, plus another cheap card off Valentina. It's another Odin. That is literally the best card to hit off Valentina. Okay, Madam Web, and I can't mess with this location. It's a good start for them, for sure. Because, like, I can't Enchantress the Madam Web. So all of that's pretty good for them. They can activate Sparky. They can activate Sparky next turn, I think is how that works. No, they can activate Sparky this turn because the Vulture will have moved. So they can activate Sparky to move the Vulture back. That's a pretty cool interaction. Haven't actually seen that one yet. Hopefully the Wasp gives us something good. And we could actually Eliath right here, right now, with the plan being to Odin the Eliath, but we don't want to Odin and blink the Eliath. Could blink the Thanos into Arishem. Now, let's do this. Potentially take out a Frigga from them. Ah, we totally missed. Bummer. All right, maybe this can give us a... I was hoping for Legion. So we get nothing out of this exchange. They went for the Frigga over in negative zone. Dang, I thought that they would play a Frigga this turn. Just missed where it went. So they have a huge Vulture. They'll get to play another huge Vulture. Yeah, they're just going to play a Vulture here. So wins is still points. So from that perspective, it's fine. And then I could set up an Enchantress, and then the plan is we're going to blink the Enchantress next turn. That seems good. We could wind up blinking it into Legion or Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yeah, I just barely don't have Prio, but I will be able to take Prio next turn for Odin on Eliath, potentially to play against a Sage. Oh, it was Dagger on the Iron Fist. Yeah, that's a good play. Well, then Beast on all that. So we are taking Prio here. But are we going to have the tools to do it? We are in for the rest of the game. They're kind of priced into just like keeping this exactly as is. But honestly, I feel like all of this can still be relatively fine. I think we might blink Electro now. Then we Odin over here. Is that good? Yeah, I want to Eliath, I think. We have Prio, so let's take it. Blinking the Electro probably makes more sense than blinking the Enchantress, because a 4/6 is already fine. And maybe we'll get some more nice value there. They move out the Sparky. What does that do? They play around the Eliath perfectly, which is a big bummer, and I think we've just lost, because I did not put enough points into negative zone, unless this is something crazy. I mean, Mockingbird's nice. Sage goes over the top, but then, yeah, they are going to go over the top with Toxin plus Vulture, and they've taken us. Double Vulture. That'll do it. Well played. So with a loss, I probably can't top 16. Though I have played against 2 pretty good opponents that will give me good breakers. I will probably play until I get a second loss. I think that that's fair. We're going to do a bonus round here as well, because I am also in the Snap Judgments League playing up against someone else participating in the Golden Gauntlet. So we just said, let's play a match as if it's like a Golden Gauntlet match, and we are going to just use our Golden Gauntlet decks for this battle. I'm up against Cosmic Casual here, and they are running an Agamotto Werewolf, sort of Fenrisless Fenris deck, just a bunch of tech, Zabuless Zabu, Fenrirless Fenris, Wiccanless Wiccan. We've seen decks like this have some success at pretty high levels before, so we'll see how Cosmic Casual is able to deal with all of this. Star-Lord into Avengers Compound, Star-Lord plus Captain Marvel, or I can just Space Stone and play off on the Avengers Compound turn, but I'm going to lead with a Space Stone into the Compound, Soul Stone to protect the Thanos from Shang-Chi. Honestly, it feels like we're potentially in a snappable position already. Captain Marvel into Kunlun feels good too. Let's see if we can just raw dog a Star-Lord. So what are their 2 drops? They're Iron Patriot, Merlin, Hawkeye. Merlin, Hawkeye, they're actually fairly likely to move all of those out of Avengers Compound. So I think this is good. Surge would be the only one that they might decide to play into the compound, but I think they'd skip it anyways. Let's just do this for now. Okay, we wound up missing. It's fine. Next turn we'll drop a Captain Marvel. Ooh, this is really nice. They did not play a 2-drop. That could just be a snap condition. They said they hope that Iron Patriot gives them a Darkhawk. That's pretty funny. I mean, this is a really good setup. I think let's snap. I think we're just in a good spot right now. Next turn, we can Iron Patriot into Madripoor, and we will definitely be able to win it because we can slam a Thanos into Madripoor on turn 5. So that seems really good. Oh, but what if instead we just did this? And now we've got 2 Captain Marvels, which can move out into Kunlun. Next turn, we play Thanos. Oh, but then I don't have the Soul Stone. I actually really want the Soul Stone. The awkward thing is I'm thinking we might just play the Soul Stone. Let's throw it right here. Still gives me the chances to, like, image some interesting way on the final turn. Yeah, we're going to go for this. So now we could play on the final turn images plus our cheap card here. And that could all be pretty good. They wins over my Star-Lord. That's kind of awkward. And then they Iron Patriot, and we're actually going to let them win the Iron Patriot battle.
Clear for takeoff.
But here's what I'm thinking. We do have an opportunity to go Atuma Images for a bunch of points. And that could just be enough. Yeah, could just be enough. We're keeping Captain Marvel below Shang-Chi rate, which seems pretty good to me. Negasonic, don't care about that. But it does mean that I can't go for the Atuma game plan over here. And they are also going to have an Iron Patriot card. I think I'm going Atuma Images into Kunlun and then having Captain Marvel move over here. I'm a little afeared of the Wolf. But I think this is just my best play. And then I can wins. Captain Marvel can actually just come over to the compound. So that's fine, though we're currently planning on tying the compound. And I'm only putting... We're actually hoping to move the Werewolf, maybe? Yeah, Werewolf plus Kunlun is pretty crazy. I think we still keep battling for this here. They're not going to go for the Shang-Chi on Thanos. Let's just remind them that they can't. Oh, that popped up in a random place. But whatever. We will just send this here and see what happens. Atuma plus images for 20. They can move over the werewolf. This could be a Shang-Chi over in Kunlun, though. So we'll see. It's an Agamotto plus a Super Scroll, and the werewolf does not move. That's just a win. That is just a straightforward win. I think we successfully bluffed them off of being able to Shang-Chi Thanos, which was the whole goal of that sequence. And I have the game. I have the deck full screened. Oh no, that's so terrible. They did not expect the images. Yeah, that's always a nice little surprise there. Hopefully, y'all were still able to get enough of that through my narration. But that happens. That happens from time to time. Yeah, I mean, they're also playing Agamotto, so they're aware of plays that images can do, but they just said, like, in a big deck, you know, you can't play around everything, and that's kind of just the goal of the deck as a whole, right? You know, Elysium seems good for them so far. It's not really great for my Shang-Chi draws, and I cut Eliath. So that makes my Shang-Chi, my ability to play around Shang-Chi even worse. That was funny. I was not expecting Batroc to leap in there. So I actually can battle reasonably for this Iron Patriot. Probably go Soulstone plus Thanos. This plays around Negasonic Teenage... Wait, no. This plays around Negasonic Teenage Warhead and is actually kind of insane. Wow. I didn't think about the Time Stone allowing me to play a Thanos here. We're snapping. 12 points into Elysium. I don't believe that this is beatable out of their deck. They could jug me out of Elysium. But if their plan is just Negasonic Teenage Warhead with Prio, I'm feeling pretty good about it. If it's Gwenpool, it's fine. We can still battle here. And this gives me a Snow Guard. I'll appreciate playing these Snow Guard cards. Yep, no Iron Patriot discount for you, Buckaroo. We're going to play Snow Guard here, and I could drop a Red Hulk. It's energy efficient. They're going to be able to Shang-Chi and Agamotto unless I just decide to not play the Agamotto either. I could Hawk to turn off Elysium into the final turn. That could also be a pretty interesting play. Next turn, Hawk plus Dust. I kind of like that. What do they got for us here? This is a white bordered card. That's a big Agamotto. That is a big Agamotto. So we're kind of thinking, I mean, kind of thinking this, right? Is this even good? I think I do want to play Snowguard Hawk. My opponent just has so many more cards than I do. I don't necessarily know that I want to fill up Elysium. That is one part of this that I'm slightly struggling with. And I could also see filling it up like so. There's also Snowguard Bear into Shadowland. Oh, I can't play that. Sure. Alright, Hawk it is. Turning off Elysium. May that be good for us. Yeah, I would have had to not play the Stardust to go for the Snowguard Bear play. They did lock themselves out of Shadowland, so just double dropping Snowguard cards into Shadowland could have been good. They do have the Shang-Chi, though. And then they have Werewolf, and I'm just hoping I put up enough points here. I don't think I ever did, though, because they can hop this Werewolf over into Elysium, plus play their Iron Patriot card, and I'm pretty sure that just always beats me, right? Yeah, we're going to slow retreat on this one. Now, it doesn't mean that they drew a 6-cost card with On Reveal, right? But what if they just have, like, a Juggernaut with a +2 on it? That still beats me. Yeah. If they were staying in it, they had a win. So I think we had to retreat, unfortunately. Sure, it wasn't guaranteed, but I just didn't have a way to come back from Shang-Chi plus Agamotto. That's an incredible commitment to a location. And yeah, I'm not being that. So maybe shouldn't have locked myself out of the center location. Maybe should have just not played the Hawkeye and been all right with that. Turn 2 Medusa. Images on the monster potentially at some point. Oh, that's interesting. So always discards your lowest power card? Yeah. So we could kind of battle here with a Ghost Rider. Huh. Now I guess I just battle here with a Bullseye, huh? Yeah, seems fine. We do have images to get a lot of power into Quantum Tunnel in a way that the Quantum Tunnel doesn't interact with, so that could be good for us. All right, they're going to let us have the tunnel with a sunspot that does not quite clear it, but could get us a bunch of power over here regardless, but definitely a little bit awkward giving them a card on the cheap like this. Astral Projection's terrible. Mockingbird's pretty good. Lowest power card. Yeah, it would always discard Thanos. So they have a Shang-Chi. I don't love my spot. I don't want to discard Thanos. I want to play him next turn. Alright, we'll just soak a little bit into Sunspot. I'm not going to retreat here. Maybe I should have. Ooh, they're turning off the Quantum Tunnel. They get my images. I get their bolts, though. That's an interesting trade. That's a really interesting trade. If I draw a small card, now I could just go like this turn. Could actually go like this, but I don't think that that's helpful for me. To Astral Projection the bolts rather than just play the bolts. Yeah, because maybe I could use Astral Projection on something else next turn as a little cheaper. I'm discarding the Time Stone to the Ghost Rider. I'm taking Prio. Are these things that I want? Here's another play, is just this and this. Get through this, give my Thanos max cheapness, soak 2 more into Sunspot. I think this is actually the play. Yeah. So this, they can images in Monster Island or in the Bifrost. But now we could win this location with a Shang-Chi, then play a Thanos over here. We have enough energy to do that. And still drop a Ghost Rider potentially too? Oh, that's a big gore though. Alright, well we've successfully tossed Prio. That's interesting. And then yeah, with 11 energy we can play Shang-Chi, Ghost Rider, and Thanos. That's a lot of potential points. Do I even need the Ghost Rider over here? Oh, Ghost Rider's for -1 now. It's not that good. Sure. Sure. There's also a weird move where we Legion the Monster Island. Is that useful? No. We'd have to play this first, and then this. That could actually be quite good. Oh wait, maybe this play's insane. Yeah, I played these in the right order, right? Yeah, Legion everything, then Shang-Chi. I like this. And then we're soaking 2 more points into Sunspot, so maybe that's something. What do they have for us? Images on Gore. I thought that could be a potential play. Yeah, that's just a big location. That's going to be fine. What do they have here? Grapple Arrow for some points, but that means they don't get a monster. And it means that we're going to have some monster points here, 23 to their 13 over in Bifrost. That'll grab the win there for sure, with the assist from their bolts.
Power must be controlled.
GG, take him for another 4.
Victory.
I think there were a lot of winning plays that we had there, especially with the Shang-Chi, and that's just the upside of Arishem. Like, my opponent cannot play around everything. And, they actually said, I knew Shang was coming, hence I played around it. Oh, right. They could have used the images on the monster, but they just decided to play around exactly Shang-Chi, but I was always playing Shang-Chi plus additional points at that location, which is actually just impossible to play around, thanks to bolts making that possible. What is their 1-cost card? What did you draw? Oh, you drew the Agamotto spell. Sure. We'll stick in it for 2. This is potentially their final cubes. It's going to mean a little bit more to them than to me. Maybe I should have played Soulstone there in an attempt to draw a card that I could play alongside the other stone on this turn. If you have 10 or more power here each turn, plus 1 energy. Just Thanos is going to let that ride. I think we start off with a Soul Stone. If we get super punished, it'll probably be alright regardless, though. We could just go Thing plus Polaris here. Oh yeah, Iron Patriot, sure. Thing is still a good play. Other option is Temp plus Polaris. Next turn, we kind of want to play for Rocket Pad, kind of want to play for Starbrand Crater. Not sure what we'll want to do. If they get close to filling this location, Hobgoblin could get pretty nasty on them, which seems exciting. I think I do... I'm going to be playing to Starbrand Crater next turn. So let's plan on playing this here then. Let's plan on playing the Agamotto to Starbrand next turn. Is this a Jug? It's just a werewolf, so we could have beaten it with the Thing. That's potentially going to make that a misplay. But I think I do just want the extra energy as soon as possible. Next turn, that'll give me 7 energy. That's enough for Thing plus White Queen. We're going to let them win Rocket Pad here. We're letting them win all of these tiny battles. And that may prove bad for me. They're getting extra power on Werewolf. They can Shang-Chi this Agamotto easily. So I don't love a lot of what's going on right now. This is good. This is good. This is also for 8 points, which is interesting. Then there's some temptation to White Queen, but what does that do? It just steals their Agamotto. That doesn't feel incredibly useful. Even if it does potentially open up some better options for next turn. I think next turn I'm probably fine with, like, Ajax plus White Queen or something. It's not super exciting, but it's something. So yeah, this is going to be the plan here. Make sure that they aren't able to get extra energy off of Starbrand Crater. Though I don't think that that's possible to stop them completely. This is Agamotto, right? What else could it be? Yeah, no, just a big ol' Agamotto. So... I feel like I'm, like, never winning this game. I've put so many points here. They can't really get that many more points over into the Rocket Pad, though, but, like, neither can I. So... what, 13 more points into Rocket Pad? Shang-Chi is... let's say Shang-Chi's 11. All right, we beat a Shang-Chi here, so maybe we've done part of our job. What are the chances that they're actually just battling for this location and not going to move the werewolf out? Seems very unlikely. Let's do this. Oh, okay, they did it. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. They're going to move the werewolf back into the rocket pad even for a few more points, while also impacting this location a little bit. Plus, yeah, the Iron Patriot giving them a huge card. I think I misplayed this one, to be honest. Oh, they moved the werewolf out again, which means with a wave, we still would have lost in the rocket pad. So it does not matter. They did pump up the Ajax with the Space Stone, but they were ultimately able to still put enough points over into the pad that there was nothing I could have done. So now, no snaps, no retreats. We're going to play 3 games. They have to win all 3 of them. From this point, I think I like my chances, but we'll see what they are able to come up with. Blade is pretty good into Mindscape. Let's draw our dude. Even though it could be awkward, we could still run him out early. Gives them a turn to Shang-Chi him still. But I think we got to play our cards, right? Okay. So, you might lose the Mindscape. You don't know yet. Anything can happen still. Oh, okay. They've got Merlin. Mindscape is not sticking around, I don't imagine. We're going to have a lot of new locations here, potentially. Hydra Stomper, you don't say. I've got Prio, so let's just try to move this Silk around as much as possible with Hydra Stomper. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, no snaps, no retreats. We're just playing Marvel. I played to the same location as them, which means Silk might not wind up moving here. Unlucky. But, yeah, Hydra Stomper, Werewolf by Night. We're still going to have a lot of movement on the horizon. I think I simply Agamotto into the Silk here. Keep that moving along. We'll see what happens next turn. Probably going to play Blade unless we get a pretty good indication that they're going to... They have to get rid of Mindscape. They just have to. It would be pretty unreasonable for them not to. Oh, but man, do I have such a good hand if they aren't. I can literally just discard my hand to give them nothing. That is too sweet not to do. I have to do it. We're taking out my hand here. Yeah, looks good. I'm going to play Blade right here because it's my least powerful card. This seems too cool. We're going for it. Yeah, they have the omniversal presence. That's fine. I'm not super excited about either of these cards here anyways. Is this the Shang-Chi? That's the question. It's Bolts plus Polymorph. Bolts plus Polymorph would be epic. It's Bolts plus Hawkeye. Oh my goodness, I totally got him. I totally got him. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Enjoy your energy. Enjoy your extra energy. They had the omniversal presence, didn't go for it. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So here's what we get to do. We get to go, yeah, this looks pretty dang good for me, huh? We're going to start with an Enchantress. We are going to... possibly finish off with a win. I think we want to battle for all 3 locations because they only get to play 1 card here. So if we do... Oh, I don't get to play wins off this. That looks like it's probably good enough. Oh, I turned off my Hydra Stomper. Whoops. Whatever. We're going to wind up with a Silk not in the Agamotto location, which was the idea. There's a chance I played this wrong, but I doubt it could ever backfire for me that terribly, right? Right? I have so many points over there. They're Gwen pooling Nomura. Okay, that bumps up their Acid Arrow, but I mean, oh wait. How did I play that so terribly? I was trying to get the Silk to land over here. Obviously that didn't work because I played the Polymorph here last. Should have started with Polymorph. Wow. Okay. And then I Enchantressed my Hydra Stomper, which I just wasn't paying enough attention there. So we just reset this match. We had stopped playing to go back to the Golden Gauntlet, but now we are back to finish up our match against Cosmic Casual, and they have to win the next 2 games. That is where we left it here. And I think we'll start off with a Black Knight into Mini Lab. This battle's for priority. It's kind of a tricky decision to make at this stage of the game. But I think battling for priority is fine. Oh, wait. Oh, Temporal Manipulation. That got me with them before. Yeah, that's their only 1-cost card. They're going to throw that into the Mini Lab to meet my Black Knight. I figured it's good to get the Black Knight down. Maybe there will be a, like, Sokovia type location or something. And I think I'm fine ridding myself of the Time Stone. No, you know what? I'm going to play it here. Could make a Mockingbird cheaper. If I play this here, then Mockingbird would still cost 4 next turn. I think that that's fine, actually. Oh, Mini Lab. Oh no, I forgot Mini Lab was open on turn 2. That is incredibly punishing. I just gave them a free card. I would have played Time Stone here as well. I just wasn't thinking. I don't know what happened there. Oh, that's tragic. Okay. So we're going to play Mind Stone plus Bolts here now. This is really not the best. They don't have any location that they can play to this turn, but they're getting a cheap Iron Patriot card. So, like, I guess they play a Wolf here, and then they move it into Murder World next turn, and that's fine for them. But yeah, that's a bummer. I get a free Angel, calculated. Played for that specifically. I want to keep my Soul Stone. They have Prio. I think I Cosmic Ghost Rider here to eat their Werewolf. Assuming that that's going to be like a Copycat or even like a Hawkeye or something here next turn. And then, because they can't keep the Werewolf over in Clintar or they lose it. I will lose my Space Stone and I will keep my Soul Stone. I think this looks like a good plan here. I could consolidate the Soul Stone, but I'm going to be drawing and thus playing Thanos next turn. So let's stick to this. Yeah, this is going to be a Gwen pool that moves in the Werewolf, and then we're going to lock the Werewolf down. So this is fine. This is fine. And now we can battle in Clintar with a Typhoid Mary or probably just a Thanos protected by Soulstone, to be totally honest. Also a Negasonic off the top. That is really good with the priority game plan we got going on. All right. Thanos is not incredibly energy efficient because of the... Yeah, they could take Prio by battling here. They're going to battle for Clintar, though. Could be a Juggernaut. That could be good for them. Scarlet Spider on the cheap plus Bolts. They do manage to take Prio, so the Negasonic isn't going to work. So what are we doing here? Well, then I think we're just battling for buco points with Shang-Chi plus Typhoid Mary. This could just be an Agamotto for them over in Mini Lab. I could play for every location, but they have Bolts coming down too. So they could actually make a play for Clintar, which would be unfortunate. Typhoid Mary is... It's 8 points over in Mini Lab. And then battle for this location as well. I mean, they could have Juggernaut they could have Negasonic. I think because of those things, I just want to do this. Because I don't really see how they win here still. Oh, I guess the Scarlet Spider. I think I like this play, though, the best. Alright. Let's lock it in. Good play, my friend. I think they might have beaten us. So I made two really big mistakes in this game. Not battling for Mini-Lab on turn 1. Yeah, if this is Agamotto plus Surge, we've done it. We've done it. Oh, don't go here. Don't go here, Scarlet Spider. No, the Scarlet Spider 50-50s me out. That is a bummer. Yeah, they're going to have 13 points here, and I'm going to have 11. Dang. All right. All coming down to this final one. It was a Scarlet Spider 50-50, which they wouldn't have even been able to do if I just didn't let them win the Iron Patriot battle. Don't know what I was thinking on that one. Don't know what I was thinking. And then I didn't battle hard for Prio, which meant that they were able to turn off the Negasonic Teenage Warhead that I had in my hand, which was probably less than ideal. But here we do get to start with a win in the Abbey. Yeah, they just can never contest the Abbey. This is just the Agamotto spell. Their Scarlet Spider got 0 Gwenpool procs, they mentioned. All right, Hala. We can move a Surge or something into Hala to kill it. That's kind of fun. We could also Batroc Leap over there. I'm not sure if that's ideal. Yeah, I don't even know, though, that I'd rather do that. I think I'd rather just, like, Surge. I'd rather let them keep the Surge. Because we waste the wins if we blow it into Hala. But, like, then what else am I playing here this turn? Next turn I'm playing Thanos. I think I actually will just do this still. Grabbing a Sentinel, the Infinite doesn't work. There's certainly some awkward things about this hand. But we're going to battle for Hala. They are playing a Surge pumped up card into Hala, so maybe we actually just need to battle for Hala with Thanos next turn. And I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, Batroc is cool. Enchantress. Okay. Well, we're winning this location, and now we get to slam a Thanos. They could play... Oh, I didn't draw Thanos. It's Time Stone. It's the wrong stone. So they could have a Juggernaut. I think I'm going to play Infinite. Images on Enchantress for 14 points. That sends them over the top. We are certainly taking Prio here. I mean, unless they just don't play for Orcus Forge, which is certainly possible. I hope they take it so that we can Shang-Chi them. Actually, I hope they don't, so that we don't lose to Juggernaut. Oh, we're going to lose to Juggernaut now, aren't we?
Hello, hello.
Well, I have to play Infinite into the Abbey. There's no way around that.
So happy.
They're definitely going for Prio, but they don't have Negasonic, which means I lose to Juggernaut, but I think I could beat some other things. That's my only play, right? 8 points. They could also just put like a medium amount of points down, and I would lose. Well, we gotta go for it. What do you got? Jug, Agamotto, that's going to get Shang-Chi'd, and we are able to take it. Play around what you've seen. GG's, that was an incredibly, incredibly close match. Came down to the final 2 cubes. Reality Stone could still mess it up, but we do manage to ring that bell and grab the win. GG's, Cosmic. This round we are up against Victoria Hand, which also has Werewolf by Night in it, and I did think that this was going to be a pretty good deck. I wasn't sure how popular it would be, but it was part of the reason that I also decided that I wanted to play Cosmic Ghost Rider. as just another potential answer for Victoria hand with both Enchantress and Cosmic Ghost Rider in the deck. I think I've got a reasonable set of tools, but let's see if it is enough. I was also considering just straight up putting Killmonger in the deck, to be honest, for both Invisible Woman and this deck, though I felt like Cosmic Ghost Rider covered both of those matches similarly. A Killmonger would be insane with this exact setup, but not going to get it. I think we'll lead off with a Nick Scratch here, though. And if one of these locations destroys cards, then we can throw Moira over there and just have infinite Galactas. If not, Nicholas can get buffed up by various spells that we have in our deck. Probably still running Galacta into Muir Island next turn. My opponent dropping their Demon plus a Quinjet, I imagine here. Oh no, it's Quinjet plus Nico on the copy a card mode. Yeah, you got to get that out while you've got it. That is all pretty good and dandy. Bolts into Camartage I do like. So that could maybe get me something here yet. If we draw a cheap card next turn, like Valentina would be the best possible draw. I double Valentina into Camartage. Does this give them bolts? Does it say character or card? They might have just gotten 2 copies of bolts. But I think Mirage, no, Mirage is character now. Yeah, because they didn't want it, because you wouldn't get access of the +2 cards if you just played this, of the +2 power if it copied a spell. So we're kind of lucking out in that capacity. I'm going to make everything Camartage, despite that being reasonable for my opponent's deck. This is just the best play that I can make this turn. Next turn, we're hoping to play Bolts plus something, and this will give me a little bit more flexibility in doing so. Yeah, Maximus seems fine. Do I want to battle for over here, though? Possibly. And then I just go double bolts for sure. I don't even think Maximus is that good, because my opponent's probably going to, like, try to play creation cards. It might draw them Vicky hand, but if they don't have it for this next turn anyways, I feel pretty okay about everything. And if they play Vicky here and take Prio, then we might be able to Shang-Chi this demon for the win. So I'm sure this is good and disruptive enough. Trying to toss Prio. We'll see how it works. I think we've done it. Oh, that was a skill. That's funny. So we did not... Oh, no. Yeah, we did still toss Prio here. Interesting. Interesting. But we don't have that much going on. That's the problem. Even if they pump up this demon, that's not that many points over here. I feel like I'm doing this, and like this isn't that good. They could beat me with a Juggernaut. I think they would Juggernaut here. So do I play around that like this? This doesn't seem that good either. We're definitely winning Camartage. Maybe I just ignore Camartage then and play everything right here. I guess this is fine. If their play is exactly Juggernaut Victoria hand, then this play is fine. Where did this come from? Oh, one of these came from Nico. Why won't they tell me which one came from Nico? That's annoying. Oh well. Oh, they both came from Nico? No, that can't be right. They Juggernaut here? Oh, bummer. Bummer. So Shang-Chi's not going to be enough in this location. Unlucky. If I had 10 more points, I would have won in Camartage. Oh, it's Bar with no name! Wow! Oh, wait, it changes again! Oh, bummer! Bummer! What a roller coaster there. Ah, for a split second, we won the game. But yeah, they correctly predicted with the Juggernaut. Unfortunate. Yeah, I think there's other ways that could have gone. Kingpin seems good. We're going to lead off with the Temp. Good against the Werewolf. Nico on the copy mode already. They can play into the big house, so I can't Enchantress or Cosmic Ghost Rider. I'd imagine they would have snapped, though, if they had that, but Olympia probably draws them into it, right? So do I go Iron Patriot into the unknown? I'm losing 2 draws here from Olympia. Not the best for me. They do snap, but I think we have an Iron Patriot win. Unless they also go for an Iron Patriot win. This has to be a Victoria. Yeah, this has to be a Vicky for them, which just really seems like no good. My hand is fine, but I think that their hand's just going to be better. I think this is a really tough retreat, but their hand's going to get to do the nuttiest thing possible here. It's going to get to go copy Victoria into Frigga, copy Victoria again, and I just don't want to compete with their best possible output, especially with a location that's already protecting them from allowing my interaction to win me the game. So I think that's a good retreat there. Reality Stone on Otto's Lab. I'll just Reality Stone. Sure, I'll Reality Stone Otto's Lab. I don't want them to pull Gambit and blow up the hood and discard a card for me. Like, all of that just seems pretty terrible. So, we'll just lead with this Sewer System. Mojo World is interesting. I have nothing but 3 cost cards for Silver Surfer. We're going to play Iron Lad into potentially Ironheart Silver Surfer. Gambit could win me Mojo World. There's a chance they also just stole Gambit, so that's also interesting. Iron Lad. I don't want Legion to Mojo World. Anything else is probably fine. I'll throw Iron Lad into Sewer System. I'm good with it hitting Galacta. Okay, Cosmic Ghost Rider wouldn't have done anything regardless. Could Cosmic Ghost Rider here now? I think we just always have to save Cosmic Ghost Rider, though, unfortunately, which means we're playing Fantasticar for the points of it all. Next turn, we go Ironheart Silver Surfer for sure. And then we'll have to decide between Gambit plus something or Cosmic Ghost Rider plus something based off what they have. They can Nico copy Frigga. They awkwardly know that the... yeah, I think we have to do this. They know that the Cosmic Ghost Rider is waiting in the wings here. And I think we'll just have to go like Galacta plus Gambit. Definitely doesn't seem that strong right now. Oh, this is Demon. Copying their Demon so they don't have the Vicky. And then they Misery in Mojo World. Wow, gives them another Demon. Sure. And then Werewolf's going to get to jump into Monster Metropolis, which actually means they can't move the Werewolf out. Wait a minute, this is snappable. This is just straight snappable. Because now they have 2 options. Lose Mojo World, or don't move your Werewolf, and thus you're looking not so hot elsewhere. I actually did find a pretty interesting card to pair with Cosmic Ghost Rider. Winds of Watum to win Mojo World seems pretty good. I have so many ways to win Mojo World. I could Galactus Gambit. I think they might actually just give up. This battle's for all 3 locations, which probably makes it good. Oh wait, Winds doesn't win Mojo World. What am I saying? Is this my play then? This is particularly unimpressive. The Demon is just as big as Galacta here, so I probably lose Monster Metropolis. I think we're not snapping. This beats the Demon. beats just specifically a demon. But then, like, if I'm winsing, that's pretty terrible. Yeah, I think I want to do this. 15 over here. Sure, we'll activate even though that doesn't do anything. And we'll hope that we blow up a card in Mojo World. Okay. Oh, Juggernaut. Well, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. We can still lose Mojo World. Yeah, Juggernaut gets me here. I blow up one of their cards here, but I still just lose this location off points, unfortunately. Fantasticar, not gonna bring us home. So we are now down to 5 cubes. And we've got a little bit of a deficit to come back from, but Arshem can definitely bring us there. Juggernaut's still putting up work. I said it in the OTA review. I think the Juggernaut still has some legs, and I'm happy that it is still able to do some things. I think we have to go Space Stone and then follow that up with Iron Patriot and a turn 1 snap. They could make some big Vicky hands this game. They could make... I mean, all of their cards are good with Aunt May's. Iron Patriot's good with it. Werewolf is good with it. Nico is good with it for multiple spells. The only thing not good with it is the hood. My nose just got super itchy. We are just going to take him for a cube off that one, but that's fine. I'll snap and take a cube every day. All right, Enchantress for the Vicky is good. Shang-Chi could also be. Machine World's funny. I think I'm not going to play with Machine World, but we could just do a Space Stone to start. Okay. Gives me Thanos, hoping to draw another 1-cost stone here. Mind Stone would be beautiful. Power Stone's good, though, as well. Probably just throw this into New York. Although, I could Enchantress the Quinjet next turn. That might be worth it. Alright, we'll do this then. We playing up against an Iron Patriot over here? No, Vicky. Alright, I am going to snap and Enchantress Vicky. She gone. And they'll have their Quinjet, but now if they Frigga the Vicky, it doesn't have the ability, so they are going to retreat. And here's the awkward thing. Are they going to be less likely to do that in the future? I'm not sure. Because they can't always play around the Enchantress, kind of what I was saying when I was playing up against Cosmic Casual. They can't just afford to always play around it, so they might just still make that same play. This is pretty interesting. Do I Mantis and hope to hit their hood? I think so. Let's go for this. This also gives me 2 locations, pretty good chance to Enchantress them effectively. Ah, they threw off. So what is this, a Nico or a Quinjet? Bummer, bummer. I can still Enchantress the Quinjet here, which seems fine, if not ideal. Let's not, though. Let's Iron Patriot into the unknown, Time Stone, and just debating like doing this here still too. Yeah, let's do it like this. Merlin. So they're going to have a lot of control over locations right now. And we can blink our Quicksilver, which is nice. So we're snapping. And we're just going to blink the Quicksilver. We're not going to worry about winning the Iron Patriot battle. We are simply going to blink a Quicksilver and then Mind Stone and Altar of Death for extra energy and cards. They're going to retreat, and all of a sudden, it's tied up 5-5. Okay. That's looking good now. Yeah, I mean, Mind Stone over into the altar was real good.
Destiny will arrive.
Let's see if we can bring it home. Like we said, Fenris Wolf up against Misery is interesting. Bar Sinister with Galacta, also pretty fun. We could put a bunch of Galactas here, and then Lasher would be huge points at another location. That might be worth going for. If Fenris Wolf just gets back the Hood, like maybe it also gets back Mirage, but that could be less than exciting. Echo. If they go for Vicky Hands here, I'm probably fine with that. I think I'm going to save Echo. Potentially try to slam it down with Prio on the final turn. It's tricky because we have Prio right now, and they could just play a Vicky into Pit of Exile. Let's go for it. We did not get it. This is a Demon plus Quinjet into the Unknown. We missed the 50-50. Oh well. Stark Tower. Okay, I mean, this is looking like a better and better location to Lasher. We're going to go for the Galactas. Wait. Oh, yes, we go for the Galactas and then we Stardust so that they can't. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. We take Prio here, and now we get to Stardust. I think I'm going to snap to this. I'm brand new to using Stardust, so I haven't really even seen interactions like this necessarily, but this is quite good. And we put the extra points on the Soul Stone. Not that they're playing Shang-Chi, but they could be in the future. And now they cannot use the Bar Sinister. They're just going to retreat. Cool. Cool beans. Yeah, the Lasher was also going to be pretty fun into this location, and then we follow up with one more Galacta pumped card over into Stark Tower on the final turn, and that's all she wrote. Cube lead for the first time in this match, right? Sounds good. Alright. We can fill the location with images, which is fun. But we're going to need some other cards to play elsewhere, too. Utopia. Gives me a Stardust for next turn. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. And we're filling this with images, so we want to throw some definite junk there. And then, yeah, we want some stones for the other location. I'm staying in this one. For sure. They could have a good play. Utopia does... Oh, this is a Mobius. That's what it is. Oh, it's a Merlin. Okay. I was thinking Mobius for sure. We're going to have to do some work to get that back now as well. Yeah, I mean, I need that card. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, I wish I'd played this, but did not have it, right? I'm setting up with the Stardust, so that way I can play images here next turn. But now I'm actually thinking I just want to drop a bunch of cards over here. I don't care about the clubhouse. Yeah, let's fill Sanctum next turn, actually. That's good. We'll fill it up with Stardusts. Wow, they're also going to fill it up. It was their Iron Patriot, and they can fill this with Misery, potentially. So that could be pretty good for them. We have the Enchantress now, too. That's interesting. And they are somewhat tempted to play a Vicky now. So that could be good for us. We're going to play this, draw our Agamotto, have 21 points in the Sanctum, and then also draw our Thanos. So we're going to have some big plays for these turns upcoming here. Thanos is going to be really big, actually, right? Yeah, I think this looks good for us. That doesn't look like a Vicky plus a Frigga, so that much seems good. Thanos does get his discount. I was concerned about that, and I don't know how Images works with Stardust, but I think it is favorable because it's a transform, not a creation effect. So 21 points over into the Sanctum. If they're able to fill the Sanctum this turn... Oh, this is Frigga on Nico. That's interesting. And then what is it going to be? A spell to fill the Sanctum. Yeah, Polymorph on Nico. Makes a lot of sense. Maximus draws me a free Mockingbird plus a useless Nick Scratch and a once in future into Utopia. All right. We both have some big points this game, but I do feel like this kind of favors me. I could see Enchantressing on Quinjet, and I think I have to run out my Mockingbird. This turns off the Stardusts, but I don't know if I care about that. And I will make a move to fill up the clubhouse as well. But I will actually throw the bird over in the clubhouse. It keeps it Shang-Chi proof, and it means that I could play a card here and then move it into Utopia with Aranya points next turn. But I think I want to turn off the Quinjet. They're going to have a lot of discounts already because of Utopia. They're not going to let me Enchantress Vicky hand. They're just not. So let's just play this. And we still have a 50-50 whether or not we want to move Thanos with Aranya next turn or just drop it here and, drop it here for extra points or drop it here for still 17 points plus pumping up the other locations. Seems like we've given ourselves some reasonable options here. And the plan is turn off Quinjet so that if they were banking on that for the final turn, now they won't have access to it. Also means Stardust does not stop Polymorph, right? Yeah, that's important. Sanctum Infinitum is definitely catch-upable. There's 10 points there. Oh, they get rid of the clubhouse with an Omniversal Presence. Sure. Get back their 8-power Iron Patriot. And that's it. Misery will not... Oh, Frigga does create another copy of Frigga, sure. But we took out the Quinjet, so all of these cards are going to be potentially more expensive than they anticipated. If they have Vicky hand, it is one Vicky hand. So this does win this location. I think I might just play the Frigga here, or play the Valentina here, and then put extra points on a Thanos over here. Is what? Are they going to go to 25? They might put 10 points at this location. But this clears that. This is 30. That would be 27. I think that's what they're going for. 27 points from an 8-power Iron Patriot plus 2 from Valentina. We'll do this regardless, though. Considering anything they play here beats me. And I think I'm just going off the assumption that a lead by 10 is not catch-upable. Better not be. I don't have any other plays. Yeah, Iron Patriot plus Vicky hand. What is over in the Sanctum? That's the question. Have they created any really good cards with Iron Patriot? Or do they not have it? It would have to be pretty cheap. Oh, it's a Polymorph on Quinjet. That's not going to do it. Forge will not be able to beat my might of Thanos. That'll make us 2-1. GG. This round we are up against a Jeopardy contestant. Their profile picture is them on Jeopardy, which is pretty cool. And they are playing a Living Tribunal deck, which I do think I'm fairly well prepared for with both Enchantress and Cosmic Ghost Rider. So, yeah. It's just a matter of drawing those tech cards, but we've got 2 of them in the deck, so we'll see how that turns out. Plan is to curve out into Valentina. They have the Nico +2 draw. That's pretty good for them. Washington, D.C. is kind of a fun location because they can kind of put their stuff there, and then if I Enchantress, it gets bigger. which is interesting. I might want to play for that myself as well. We'll see how this one turns out. Invisible Woman as a way to Enchantress or Cosmic Ghost Rider at the end of the game seems insane, by the way, and could potentially be good. We have to draw the Enchantress, though, of course, and we could wind up Enchantressing and then pumping up with the Iron Patriot in a different capacity. So there's a lot of funky stuff. We're going to start by dropping a Sassy Girl into the Nexus and following that up with an Agamotto next turn. They are making a turn 3 play. Could be Limbo, going to be a wave. I was thinking Limbo to turn off the Nexus is an interesting interaction, but it seems like this is something that they would want to do, and with Enchantress, I think we are simply snapping. We can play Invisible Woman plus Enchantress on the final turn, which is just a huge, huge gotcha. We can also Legion the Nexus and throw a bunch of points over here, which seems like an incredibly powerful play. So let's start with that and see what happens. I imagine, oh, a Cosmo. Was I too quick to snap and throw off then? Oh, that could be bad for me. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Yeah, now I'm really going to regret not having the Agamotto into the Nexus. But they waved and then Cosmo'd on their wave turn. So, I mean, this could still just be Iron Man into Onslaught, and they'd probably feel pretty good about their chances. But let's see what we've got here. Yeah, Cosmo's going to be their main interaction against me. This is Iron Man. I don't imagine I ever beat the dude here. I would have needed Legion into Washington, D.C. to make this make sense. The fact is now I actually don't have a good play at all. So we're going to retreat. I lose to Onslaught here. If they don't have the Onslaught, maybe they'll retreat. But that is definitely a little bit awkward. Cosmo's good. Cosmo's definitely good. And props to my opponent for playing Cosmo on a wave turn. But I'm definitely not staying in this game. They've got one card in their deck. They've drawn basically their entire deck. The chances of them not having the Onslaught here seems really ridiculous, though the fact that it is taking them this long kind of makes me wish that I had gone for it. Maybe they're just considering whether or not to snap. They retreated. They did not have the Onslaught. It was the final card in their deck. That's wild, but I am happy enough to have walked away from that game with no cubes exchanged, though. It's awkward. We got to win the games where we draw Enchantress. So to not win a game where we drew Enchantress is pretty awkward. Shuri's Lab, reasonable Legion place. I'd like to hit one cheap card. Yeah, we're going to wind up going Galacta into Legion into Namora. And I just have to figure out where Legion wants to play. Into Krakoa, right? So it's Galacta into Legion Krakoa into possibly Namora plus Stone, but possibly not. This could also just be Galacta into Krakoa here. But that's really, really not that impressive. We take Prio here. So this could really get them too. Stardust stops Blink. That's pretty good. Let's snap. We have the means to put a bunch of points out here, and their deck is not really a Krakoa deck, as evidenced by the fact that they just played Nico Minoru into Krakoa. Kind of implies they don't have any Krakoa stuff going on right here. So let's see what this turns into. Hoping to maybe draw a stone. It's magic, and now we don't have Legion for magic. So we're really hoping for Mind Stone in particular. They're going to draw their whole deck, though. But we also drew a pretty good portion of our deck with that one. We can Thanos this turn and next turn play something different here, or we could Nomura this turn. I think this is just the most points, though, always. Put a 14-point Thanos Krakoa card into the deck, and then play that card into Krakoa next turn. That's the idea. Blink on the Nico. They destroyed their card. You don't get to blink that. Now, they did Krakoa and send some points elsewhere, but we're going to get a 22-point Krakoa through Vision. We are also taking Prio with this, but that's fine. We're giving them a very limited window to play cards. I think I actually want Prio here. I just play Enchantress plus like a 22-point stone off the top, and I think that this always wins. Ooh, that's funky. Don't really get to make great use of that one, but Stardust should be good. Yeah, we're battling for all 3 locations against a Living Tribunal, but I feel like their play is just like a 9-power Iron Man here. Just a 9-power Iron Man. I'm sure that this is always fine, though. Yeah, I'm good with this. Let's see your 9-power Iron Man. Taste my Enchantress. Could be an 8-power Iron Man as well. Yeah, 8-power Iron Man. They win Krakoa, but they lose Krakoa and Limba.
Victory.
And I think they would have lost on differential, too. They would have had 21 points. Or, I mean, they would have lost if they had the Living Tribunal. They would have had 21 points at all 3 locations. Plus, maybe they would have had 22. They would have won 1 location, though. And if I knew the Living Tribunal was there, I wouldn't have put all of my points in different locations, right? I think we already talked about that in round 1, how to play around Living Tribunal. We are going to probably Reality Stone here, because I've got 2 stones that I want to play next turn. Just trying to think if I want more variants. I think so, but it could backfire on me because they have some locations that are really good for the deck. Actually, it's just Onslaught Citadel, right? All right, I'm going to play Silk then. Oh, never mind. This is already done. So we're going to play Moonstone into Madripoor next turn. But we'll punish them if they don't play here, I suppose. Cool. Rocket Pad. If the card's on the winning side here, +1 power, I might want to turn off Madripoor and go for a full Rocket Pad victory next turn. But I think that still looks like this for now. I'm not sure if I want to snap. I do have some good-looking things. Images on Silk could be some points. We're just going to start with this, though. Ooh, they play for the Rocket Pad, which means they might win Rocket Pad. This could be a wave. Yeah. But I think we're going to look to win all of the... Actually, we're going to win every location, aren't we? Let's draw a card. This is not a moonstoneable effect, but it's a potential ways to image. There's also something else funky and fun here, which is Black Bolt into images next turn and just strip their whole hand. But I think that's unlikely to be super effective, considering they are more interested in using their most expensive cards, like Onslaught. I'm not going to Black Bolt their Iron Man or their Living Tribunal here, right? They do get 2 additional points here, which really screams Iron Man into Living Tribunal in Rocket Pad. And I do not currently have the means to beat that play, which is crazy. Could do this. Potentially locks me out of Rocket Pad. I guess there's never... Yeah, I mean, I want to battle for 2 locations is the idea. Give myself, like, images targets. Sure, we'll do this. Ooh, that's not Iron Man. That is decidedly not Iron Man. So what is their goal here? Armor. I'm going to get locked out of one of these 2 locations. Sure. And then Luke Cage. Huh. Well, if this is just a living tribunal from here... I mean, I'm struggling to see how this really goes wrong. Living tribunal, they've got 29 points. That's 9 points in every location. Oh, it's a blink. It's a blink over here. Sure. Which one did they play last? I think it's a blink on Luke. Um, 13, 16. I can't win in Rocket Pad. So I've got images here for 27 to beat a... I think they're going to play Blink here for 16. Yeah, this beats Blink here. I beat Living Tribunal. Let's snap. Okay, they're just going to retreat. They might not have even had it, but I think I was covered on all fronts. Super Scroll is like never a relevant card until it is, and then Adam Warlock is the other card that they haven't played against me yet.
Shall be set right.
Not super exciting, to be totally honest. We've got the Cosmic Ghost Rider here as well, and Mount Vesuvius. They could Limbo Mount Vesuvius, and then we could Legion it. That'll be interesting. To Legion Mount Vesuvius with the Cosmic Ghost Rider waiting in the wings. I think we're looking good. I think I want to snap, to be honest. Yeah, we're snapping. Oh, wait. You want to play Space Stone first. So that way the Soul Stone can't draw Thanos. And what is this? This could be an Adam Warlock into the unknown location. Just an armor. Sure. We'll battle there with Gwenpool. Ooh, Spectrum's actually a reasonable card. And then next turn, I think I'm Legioning Mount Vesuvius. As crazy as that seems. Daredevil plus Images is a fine turn 5 play. It's a little more awkward now, actually. Alright, and they have a Cosmo. So I can't Cosmic Ghost Rider if they literally just have it. I think I need to save Legion for the final turn now. Which means I don't have a great play this turn anymore. We're going to take Prio. Next turn we're going to play Thanos, and then the final turn we might have to play Legion plus Images. Or, no, just Legion. Isan might be a better play next turn. Isan here. Yeah. We'll see what they're doing here with the Daredevil site. Ooh, Super Scroll. That is really not a good play. This is their last chance to retreat. And we have Daredevil vision. Wow, they did not retreat. They played an Iron Man. So if we just Isan here, that could give us Spectrum, Images, which would be the most fantastic. Or Diamondback. Huh. And I've already snapped. Let's just play Isan here. How does that go wrong? I don't think it does. right?
I am Iron Man.
This gives us, make sure that we've got enough points to compete everywhere. Final turn, we're going to drop the Spectrum and the Diamondback over into Fisk Tower, which means we just need to put up points over in this location. And this seems pretty tough for them to contend with. They're snapping. But, like, we beat Living Tribunal. This has to be, like, Blink plus. But we're going to get some extra points here. We're going to get 30 points here. Enough points over here. I think we just beat a Living Tribunal. They need, yeah, they need Blink plus Living Tribunal, and even, oops, sorry, even that I don't think does it. Yeah, I mean, it's a little spooky to see them snap, but we can't retreat. I think this is just a Living Tribunal from them. Living Tribunal in a dream. And that ain't going to cut it. Yeah, Living Tribunal in an open decklist tournament does definitely have a little bit of drawbacks on it. Oh, they get a Diamondback and they get a Mr. Fantastic. Oh gosh, it would be so embarrassing if the Mr. Fantastic did me in, but not quite going to be enough. We are able to grab the win, making us 3-1. This round we are up against Cerebro 3, which is obviously a deck that I've got a lot of experience playing both with and against, though a few interesting cards in my opponent's deck. Access to both Enchantress and Cosmic Ghost Rider, I think, are going to be pretty good in this matchup. Again, with my opponent's Cosmo as a potential way to stop me from interacting with them. They also have a little bit more interaction themselves. Shang-Chi in their deck and Quake. No Bast, which means if we see Wakandan Embassy, we can simply snap. And Daredevil is actually a card that I've played in this deck, but it looks like Titania is actually just going to allow us to snap already. That will completely demolish them on the final turn of the game. When do we want to snap? Probably as soon as possible. If we snap too soon, then the jig is kind of up. I think we probably just go for wins here. We don't have great plays into White Hot Room, and we kind of want to match Diamondback with wins, which is awkward, but I think I'm just going to go for a naked wins here and see if we catch anything. No, they play Scarlet Witch into Lechugia. It's actually kind of bold, to be totally honest, but I respect it. And we could just run out Shang-Chi into White Hot Room, though Iceman's good too. This would allow us to play Shang-Chi plus Titania into White Hot Room next turn, but I really don't want to let them know about Titania until it's too late. We just hope to draw a stone next turn to play alongside it. But I do want to fill up White Hot Room. Titania is just going to mean that we can still win White Hot Room regardless. As long as we have... I guess we do need to have... what is 3 times 4? We do need to have more than 12 power there. But that should be pretty doable. Let's see, can we find a stone? We find a bird. Which means we're never going to fill this location unless we play Titania there this turn. Oh, you know what we could do? They have Prio right now. So we could give them a Titania. Snap. This will never give us max cubes, but then on the final turn we can fill this location to make them keep the Titania. That could actually work. This is a little bit silly, but let's go for this. And with this extra energy from White Hot Room, I think we're actually going to be able to do this. This is a very silly scenario we're going for right now. Killmonger on the Iceman. That actually is how they could have gotten around the Titania, but now they won't be able to. But awkwardly, there will be some mind games on the final turn. Unless we just totally fill this location, giving my opponent no chance to give us this card back. Currently just planning on Spectrum and then Enchantress Mockingbird. I mean, they're going to save their cards for over here. Is there any chance they just don't even have the Cerebro right now? Just thinking like, what's the... Maybe we should just go Mockingbird Enchantress, because they either play their Cerebro right here, right now, or they play it into Baxter Building and I can never Enchantress it, so sure. I'll throw 14 points into Avengers Compound. If they have the Cerebro, we got it. No, it's going to be a Sentinel plus a Luke Cage. All right, and my opponent with priority. We just can't let them give me back the Titania. So as long as we do this, we're fine. Yeah, we're just going to grab 2 cubes from them. Okay. Very strange game. We could have lost to them. We could have tied. No. Luke Cage meant that they could play. No, they could have still played because the Baxter Building's throwing some weird math. They could have put 6 more points here, tied this location, and then one white hot room and Baxter. Actually, yeah, I think we did not have a great sequence of plays there. But I think we were always beating Titania. Definitely a strange one. All right, Cosmic Ghost Rider and Enchantress. Is this just a snap? Plus Reality Stone. This is just a snap. We make them commit to 2 cubes early, and that's before they see the location. They're going to have to commit to it being a 2-cube game. And then if the locations don't mess with them, Reality Stone can. And then my tech cards can do some additional work here. Let's go Mirage into the unknown, Makari into Murder World. Could be awkward. Could just be equally awkward for them, though, too. So an interesting thing, one of my opponents, I think it was actually Cosmic Casual, mentioned that Galacta over Quake Murder World is funky. So are they now interested in quaking to kill some of my cards? Well, I think they would play Quake right here, right? So as long as we do this... No, I don't want to do that. I want to do the exact same play that they do. I don't know if this is that important. I do have Fenris Wolf to beat back some of their stuff. The thing that's interesting is with Fenris Wolf, I do kind of want as many cards potentially dying as possible, so let's do this. Okay, we are going to Murder World 2 of their cards then, and I imagine this might be a Quake. Vormir, all right, lots of cards getting destroyed. Yep, Quake is here, and these cards are still destroyed. My opponent has not played anything yet. We don't have a great play this turn. Either Fenris Wolf for 7 points or Cosmic Ghost Rider for 7 points. Let's go Fenris Wolf for 7. It's less expensive, which is awkward on the curve, because maybe we could draw another 3 to play alongside it next turn. Should I go for that then? No, I should just keep the Cosmic Ghost Rider and Enchantress and make it really tough for my opponent to put up good points. We're awkwardly dodging Vormir here. And potentially playing like Arishem into Danger Room next turn. Though that gives them a space to play their Cerebro. They don't really want to play it into Danger Room. So we could just see like a Scarlet Witch into Danger Room here too. Nope. Just going to be some other cards into Murder World. I could now Quake and move around cards with Fenris. I should activate this now, I think. Yeah, there's some ambiguity here. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, but we'll just do this. This gives my opponent the chance to take priority, which seems good for Negasonic Teenage Warhead, but with Enchantress and Cosmic Ghost Rider, I think is probably better for us. And... oh, this is a Shang-Chi target. Nah. They'd have to commit a lot to this location in order to make that work. So I'm probably fine with that. They might just Shang-Chi right now with the Daredevil vision. That would actually be a pretty good play. I'm not used to this deck playing Shang-Chi, so did not play around it. There's Quake. You're going to play into Danger Room. Wait. Yeah. Murder World doesn't change, but you're going to play into Danger Room, which means you have not yet triggered Vormir and Negasonic Teenage Warhead to finish off. Interesting. So they get an additional 9 points here and just barely overtake me. All right. Yep, that's a pretty good play then. So I just have to put up enough points here that we can win. And yeah, I don't think that we have it. The problem is, it's still Danger Room. I don't think I want to take my chances. But, I mean, yeah, it wasn't locked up there. Just didn't know exactly what they were going to play. I imagine they play Cosmo, Cerebro, both into Danger Room. And then there's a chance I just, like, beat them with a Cosmic Ghost Rider. There's also a pretty good chance that I just lose 12-8. Right? They could have... So, like, if... Yeah. I'd say they probably just have, like, a 75% chance to win. But it's actually even higher than that. Yeah, it's a little higher than that even. Okay. Yeah, so Great Portal's good for me. That's fair. Magneto... plus Enchantress could be spicy for me. We're going to make this our Iron Patriot location for starters. And I think I'm probably going to Iron Patriot Snap. We'll see what's on top here. That's helpful. We have a Stone in the Wings, which means I do not actually have a play next turn. But I will be able to put 6 points here. And that's probably just good enough. I guess I'll make sure they don't play to Great Portal this turn. They're somewhat incentivized to play here to protect their cards from Cosmic Ghost Rider. So yeah, now unless they have Quake plus Sentinel or something like that, we're probably looking all right. Ooh, a 0 power copy of a card from your hand. It's actually kind of spicy and makes me want to keep bolts, but we're just going to play this. I actually don't need to play the Mind Stone here. We can throw this right here just fine. Play bolts. Do I snap off a free cannonball? Oh, Luke is good for Astral Plane for them. Unless Astral Plane takes their Great Portal card, and then they have to play Luke later. What do we have coming? Well, we're going to shuffle our deck here with this Mind Stone, I think. We'll just do this for now, I suppose. Negasonic, sure. Wish I had Mind Stoned into that, but we're still going to have 2 stones, and we do still have Agamotto next turn. Okay. What do we get here? We get the Magneto. They get the Red Hulk, which means I could actually grow this Red Hulk intentionally if I want to. They have to retreat to that. Kind of like my Soul Stone. Maybe we Reality Stone here. Then we Magneto for some points. Daredevil, knock that out just to mess with them. We only have to skip energy on 2 turns to grow this Red Hulk. Okay, that's fine. The Bifrost. Ooh. That is going to lock us both. Oh, well, that's right. Magneto is already doing that. Sure. Oh, but I'm still locked out of this location as well. Right. Okay. Have the ability to Enchantress them now. I think I simply play Agamotto here. Oh, or I Doc Ock to grab their dude so I can Enchantress it. At which point I probably don't want to soak into Red Hulk, but I think it's still fine to do so. Does this give them priority, and could that be awkward for me? Yes, because this is going to get +3, so this will be 12. This will be 24, and they get prio, which means they could Mystique in the other location, and that could be bad. It's fine. I simply have to not spend all of my energy next turn, and Red Hulk grows up to 6, meaning it's 9 + 9 for 18, and I beat them in Bifrost against a single Mystique. So I'm looking next turn to probably just play Enchantress, or draw a 2-cost card. If I draw a more expensive card, it could be more awkward. I do grab the Mystique, actually, which is a Cosmo. Wow, that's really silly. Did not even consider that. That's going to stop my stone. They actually then destroy my stone and put me in an awkward position here where we could be 18 apiece. Okay. Awkward. But now I think I do this plus this. This can never lose, right? Because if they have the Cerebro, 6, 9, and this is way too many points over here. Yeah, we're growing their Red Hulk to make them lose. What do they have here? Oh, they just played a Red Hulk. Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm still growing the Red Hulk, but good sort of subversive play there from my opponent, recognizing when you're not a Cerebro deck anymore, but unfortunately not gonna score them any cubes with that one, and we are now 4-1. One more round to go, and maybe we qualify for Worlds again. Doesn't really mean anything. Maybe there's a small chance we make the top 16, though we're probably just playing this for fun. Feels like my opponent and I are both playing fairly similar decks here for the final round, except they're playing Wiccan and I am playing Arishem. So I can probably battle against my opponent for priority,
Shall be set right.
but they might be able to play like bigger cards than me at the start of the game. Oh, well, we both can't play Quicksilver into Hellfire Club, so there goes that idea. And I suppose we'll just play it blindly into the third location. If we mess up, I think we can Spider-Man it over here, if it even is their Herald, but it looks like it isn't. I think I'll probably still... oh, never mind. We're going to keep their Quicksilver there then. And definitely don't want to play the Mysterio just yet. So I'm just going to say their deck list out loud just so that I've made sure I've read it. Quicksilver, Domino, Cosmo, Negasonic Speed, Mobius, Copycat, Wiccan, Stardust, Cosmic, Lady, and the new G. Doing a quick restart here. Opponent with some tech issues, but now we are back into it. And all right. Reasonable curve, though if my opponent has the Galactus, they are going to be buffing that up with their Heralds here. Though no Galactus. To start off, Asteroid M's kind of a tricky location. Ooh. Huh. Feel like I should probably take the points while I can, right? No Shang-Chi for my opponent. Oh, wow. Wow, that is an interesting angle to go for. I mean, I'm just going to have my way in Shuri's Lab then, for sure. Kind of makes me not want to play cards here, but I'll play some cheapies. Wins, shrink this a little bit. Probably just want to play bolts here. Doesn't give me an insane play next turn, awkwardly. but it's the most energy efficient play that I can make this turn, so yeah, we're going to go for that. Hopefully we'll draw something. If we don't draw anything, then we do get kind of punished because we can't play 2 cards, which we would have been able to do on the following turn. We actually, oh, I just realized, Asteroid M might be a lost cause, because they're going to continue to play 3-cost cards there and 4-cost cards there that then move into Asteroid M and get pumped up, like so. So I think we are actually battling for Titan and Shuri's Lab this game. And that is a bummer of a draw, but we're going to go for... I think I'm actually going to move the Quicksilver into Titan. It's less points overall. This represents 5 points here and only 3 points if I play it here. But I still think that this is the best bet that we have. If they wind up drawing Galactus, their Herald's going to move over into Asteroid M. So I don't really care about that. Is this the Wiccan? It is. It's a Wiccan, but no snap from my opponent. And honestly, a Shang-Chi can maybe just clean up Asteroid M all in a pinch. So we'll see how that works out. We're going to keep my opponent with priority for now. But we might throw some points over into Titan momentarily. Yeah, I think we're just going to play the Thanos here now. Start to battle for this location. We'll see how this shakes out. 7 energy for my opponent could be a Stardust plus a Copycat. That would be pretty strong. They might want to throw a Cosmo over into Asteroid M at some point too, considering that might be why they're not snapping. Because they're like, all right, I've got huge points over in Asteroid M, but huge Cosmoable points, ultimately. And this is going to be a Copycat, which is also going to find its way in Asteroid M. And I don't know what... Oh, it's an Enchantress. Okay. Huh. I mean... Nothing ever got super great, but what could they possibly have? Yeah, they're just going to have a retreat. I was thinking of snapping earlier just because I had like some big guys and I wasn't putting anything in Asteroid M, but my opponent will ultimately wind up retreating on that one with a whole bunch of power. But, I mean, it looks like I had their number there, which feels good to beat them on one of the games where they have the Wiccan. Zorn. Have to read this card because I don't even know what it does. We're going to draw and reshuffle in our Galactus. Cassandra is pretty good into Atalan, but I might just wind up playing War Machine. We'll see. Nice. We answered their Quicksilver. If it's their Herald, it is not. So, I mean, certainly we just Zorn. I don't know if it matters where we Zorn. It's actually really good against their deck, though. That's crazy how good this is against their deck. It's going to be symmetrical. They probably don't play Domino into the unknown, right? Even though Westview's a little bit more unknown. Yeah. So now they have to commit like a Lady Deathstrike or a Cosmic Ghost Rider here, which is kind of wild. Meanwhile, I could Reality Stone Atalan if we like what we're working with. Stardust stops Grand Central. Yeah, Cassandra's interesting because Cassandra could hit 6 of their cards and then they're going to shuffle in their deck and have a whole bunch of afflicted cards. I think I like that idea. Let's go for it with no snap, though. And then let's keep Grand Central open. It's a little bit awkward with the stones, and we're going to battle against a potential Herald again this turn. Time Theater. Going to shuffle in another Reality Stone to the top of my deck? Yes. Okay. That's very interesting, that interaction there. Mr. Negative, not great. Cassandra was actually something I was kind of playing for. Yeah, this will give me two more 12 power Cassandras. That's definitely worth going for right here. I'm gonna snap. Considering they didn't snap, it kind of makes me feel like they didn't hit their Wiccan. All of their cards are now going to be doubly or triply afflicted moving forward. All of that seems pretty good as long as this is not an awkward location. No, it's actually a pretty solid location for us here. The Great Web could potentially lock them out. Could lock me out as well. All right, Stardust. That's going to mean that Grand Central does nothing, which is good for me. And we are eventually going to win Great Web. So Zorn is actually so strange here, though. But I don't think it matters. Nothing comes in from Grand Central, and we're just hoping to Shang-Chi them next turn, plus hope that more of their cards move into Great Web, and then they lose this location ultimately. Alright, they're playing a Lady Deathstrike. Yep, okay. So we could have played the Proxima to battle for this location, but we're just going to hope their cards get out of the Time Theater. We have Prio, so we can't Shang-Chi. We can Legion. I mean, we know that they don't have Galactus. So what could they have? Differential plus beats them if either of these cards move in a weird way. Yeah, I think that that's good enough. Oh, this won't make their cards move, but yeah. Actually did not have a great play this game. This final turn, but the Cassandras I think were good enough. They were 50-50 to like pull either of these two cards unless my opponent filled themselves over in this location. And that's not to mention all of their cards in their hand were super afflicted. So they probably did not have a great final play regardless. We have Uncle Ben plus Deathlock, which is a really random combo. This only it impacts Cosmo as well as Speed, and then also my Space Stone. I'm gonna draw Galactus here. I think that that's fine. Okay, they're gonna go for Quicksilver again. No Galactus first steps for my opponent. Hoping for another stone. We're skipping, and we're snapping. This means they cannot play a turn 4 Wiccan unless they want to keep themselves with a bunch of rocks, and then I get to Reality Stone the Collapsed Mine, so that way their rocks stay around forever. So that would have been really bad for them. Now we're going to Uncle Ben Deathlock, purely for points, but I need to get down this. Oh, replace it with a Spider-Man. Maybe that always works. I'm curious if Stardust stops Uncle Ben. I don't think it does. I don't think anything can stop Uncle Ben. This is a what's it called? It's a Nexus event or something. So we will move around their Quicksilver a little bit. But the fact that we've stopped them from their Wiccan curve and shrunk their speed seems good to me. Next turn, I'm playing Stardust plus Stone. Nothing crazy. I mean, I don't have to stone the bridge because I can play Thanos into bridge kind of freely, which is nice. Cosmo, so might drop a Thanos here. Could even see dropping a stone here. Could see dropping an Infinite there next turn and then doing nothing, but having the option to move the Infinite with Doctor Strange is a really fun troll. We've already snapped. We're going to skip and drop the Infinite next turn. Cool, cool. Hello. Next turn, we've got Thanos plus Reality Stone. We also have, here's the cheeky play, Doctor Strange to move Infinite and then Stardust to steal Collapsed Mine. That is a beautiful, beautiful play and will win me the game if my opponent doesn't retreat. Now, the awkward thing about that is if they play a card into Cosmo here, then it's going to be trickier to steal Collapsed Mine with Cosmo. Oh, if this is a Negasonic, okay, that could have been terrible for me. But this is actually great because they committed more cards into the Collapsed Mine. So now I probably just keep this here and win this location. Still no Galactus from my opponent, so they don't have any way to win this location. So I can either... I mean, yeah, I think it's just Thanos plus Reality Stone, or just Thanos, no Reality Stone, and I'm battling for all 3 locations and probably just winning. That was a sweet one. Alright, my opponent now down to 4 cubes. Things are looking pretty good for us. No cheap cards with this hand, just a lot of tech. Ooh, they're going to snap. I think we actually take this as an opportunity to retreat ourselves. Yeah, I think I don't like it. I think our hand's too clunky. I think that snap probably implies potentially Wiccan and Galactus. Considering how all of these games have gone and my opponent not having Galactus, I kind of feel like it's a pretty key card in their deck. Imagine we lost my Infinite to their Negasonic. That would have been absolutely horrid. We can stay in this one. It's fine. Stardust turns off Arnim Zola. Don't love that. I can Enchantress in Arnim Zola, though, so I suppose that's something. I'd also have to Enchantress my own Stardust. I meant to say Enchantress Stardust. I don't know if that's what I said or not. Sure. Sure. Next turn, Stardust. Cool. This is card, right? Could do this then. That's probably a good idea. This gives me an Agamotto that I could Arnim Zola, is my idea. What is that? A Legion? Oh, okay. I actually want some Vibranium here. Vibranium is the best draw in my deck. I would love Vibranium. Don't get it. But this battle's for Prio, and then I'm still looking to draw Vibranium, and then I go Arnim Zola plus Vibranium, 13 points into both of these 2 locations, play around Negasonic. Doesn't really play around much else, but looks good to me. What could that be? Negasonic, Wiccan. Oh, it's only turn 4. Oh, so I'm actually going to run out an Arnim Zola ahead of the curve? Well, I don't want to get Stardusted, but I do have some interest in playing Valentina. That's a bit of a bummer. We're still going to do this, though. And then maybe I could get them, though, if we battle for Prio this turn. That's interesting. I don't think that's what I want to do, though. I think I maybe want to be able to... I want to throw this down before Stardust, and I want to be able to Enchantress a speed that they already have on the board by playing it this turn. Lady Deathstrike here or here, both are not a big deal. So yeah, let's go for this. Okay, they're putting a bunch of points over into the mines. So that could be a speed over in the mines. That's the idea. Stardust. Okay, so we did preempt the Stardust. That's good. And the speed. So we're going to Enchantress over here. And then probably... Oh, wow. We get to play Forge and Vibranium. So it's Forge, Enchantress, Vibranium. Though, if we want to play it a little bit safer, we could Enchantress, Forge, Vibranium for 6. Just to battle for all 3 locations. Up by 10 here is probably enough. I think this is good. I think when in doubt, battling for all 3 locations seems pretty good. They are throwing down a triple Vibranium final turn. We will grab a cosmic victory to end off the Golden Gauntlet 4. I do not believe we're going to be able to top 16 But GG's to all of my opponents. These are the standings before the round. 120 people are 4-1 or better. So there's going to be 60 people, actually plus more than 60 people with 5-1 or better records. And my breakers are not good at all because Sanatora 1-1 dropped, Husky Puppies went 2-2 drop, Breno went 2-2 drop as well, and I don't know about my opponents in the later rounds, but because of that, I don't think that we're going to be able to make it into the top 16. So yeah, I think that that is going to be it for this one, but still a pretty good run to 5-1 again. I feel pretty dang good about that, to be honest, and it's nice to get in some additional reps before Worlds. And you know what? I even went 6-1 because we beat Cosmic in the middle of those matches there. But for today, that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace. To enter into my giveaway, there are 3 things that you need to do. The first is subscribe to this YouTube channel. The second is leave a comment on any of my videos. This season, every comment will give you an additional entry into the giveaway. Limit 1 per video, but you can comment on all of the videos that I upload throughout this season. And the third thing that you have to do is join my Discord. And the reason that I need you to do that is so that way I can contact you if you win, because YouTube comments, you don't always get the notifications for things like that. So join my Discord, leave a comment on all of my videos, and subscribe for more Sweet Marvel Snap.